Another component that makes up blood is the WBCs, the white blood cells. Sorry. So basically, unlike the red blood cells, hope you understand the function of the red blood cells. Now we'll look at basically the makeup or maybe the functions of these white blood cells. So in a simple man's language, let's say for example someone asks you what are white blood cells. So these are just cells that are responsible, or these are defense mechanisms in our body. All right, they are the soldiers of our body, so they are the ones that fight the bad guys in our body. Right, so they are able to differentiate from what is normal, meaning what is normal is what should be found in your body, and what is not normal. So meaning if there's a foreign substance in your body, such as viruses, bacteria, these are the soldiers, or these are the guys that are there, okay, to fight against those kind of things. So they do that using different techniques, okay. Some they produce toxins against those microorganisms or those harmful bacteria or harmful substances in your body. Others, they are able to eat them up, like to engulf them, to destroy them. They are able to recognize something, to make the immune system, and also they work with even the system of immunization, if at all you've heard of that, where people go to immunize against different infections or diseases. All right, so to start with, I want to say that these white blood cells, all right, so I'll just want to draw a simple diagram. Okay, so they look something like this. I hope you can differentiate them from the white blood cells. Now, unlike the red blood cells, the white blood cells, they have a nucleus. All right, so some you can see them having only one nucleus. So there's even others that they have a big nucleus, whereby the whole itself is covered with the entire nucleus. All right, so we have this cell. So there are different types of white blood cells. Okay, so this is the entire nucleus. Okay, so this is the nucleus, and this is the cytoplasm. So I hope you're able to differentiate them. You see, one has got only a single lobe of a nucleus, others they have got 3 lobes of nucleus, and others they have got just a whole big nucleus that is covered, that covers the entire cell. Now these ones, number one that you need to note is that they are larger. Okay, meaning they are larger than the RBCs, right? So they are larger than the red blood cells, okay. And also, okay, they all have nucleus, right? So they have nucleus. So you can see the nucleus here, right? So one thing is that these are big cells. They are larger than the RBCs, but okay, they are what? They are few in numbers. They are few in numbers, and the red blood cells, they are more in numbers. Okay, they dominate in the blood composition. So the white blood cells, they have the nucleus, of course, and we know the function of nucleus. We don't have to say over and over again. So in terms of movements, they move by, okay, they move by crawling. Okay, so they move by, okay, by day. All right, so I needed to mention here, they move, okay, so meaning their movement is by crawling. So they'll crawl, they'll find themselves where they're supposed to be found, necessary for them to do or to perform their functions. As we said, these are the soldiers of our body. And about the red blood cells also, because they move by crawling, okay, so it will enable them to squeeze out of capillaries into the tissues. So because of this, they are able, okay, because of this, they are able, sorry about that, able, okay, they are able to squeeze. So they are able to squeeze them outside, okay, outside of blood capillaries, okay, into tissue cells, right? So the white blood cells, in terms of movement, okay, they grow and they are able to squeeze them. I mean, they are able to squeeze themselves outside the capillaries and they go into the tissue. So if the infection is there, meaning these guys, all right, they were able to go where there's infection. So if, let's say, it is in the liver tissue, if the infection is in the muscle tissue, if the infection is into the brain tissues, so these guys are able to crawl, okay, get to that position and go into that tissue and perform their job, okay. Then also in terms of lifespan, so in terms of their lifespan is short, okay. They've got a shorter lifespan than the red blood cells. So they have a shorter lifespan. So because of that, so sorry, I didn't see, you can, so okay, so they have got a shorter lifespan than the red blood cells. So their lifespan is usually between, all right, it is between 2 to 3 days. All right, so their lifespan is usually 2 to 3 days. So that's about the basics about the white blood cells, okay. So there are different types of the white blood cells, right? So we've got cells such as the phagocyte, we've got cells such as the leukocytes, and we'll look at these in more detail, or maybe you're going to look at these at an advanced stage, right? So I can mention about that, but at this stage, this is what you just want, or you might want to know. So don't forget, this is about the basics to biology. So it's about what you need to know now. So for those that are into let's say something like those that are doing maybe anatomy, physiology, those that are doing even A levels, so we can go into deep and discuss about those, the phagocytes, the leukocytes, and we can talk about the T cells, the B cells. We can talk about we can talk about a big story about these white blood cells. They are really interesting to know and how they perform their functions. But for now, this is what you need to know. Don't forget, this is just the basics that I'm giving you. Alright, so white blood cell was the second component of blood composition. So now let us look at something else. In this case, let us also look at the platelets, as also they make up the composition of blood.